there are plenty of people who don't look at that as an opportunity, and then they're going to fail because they look at everything like, well, someone told me that TV news is dead. No, I could have done that. Anybody could have done that.
Here's one thing that's confusing. Seeing in the morning or on Sunday mornings, we hear people, Barack didn't have a plan. You got to go to Libya. First it was, we got to go to Libya.
Oh, are you surprised by the partisan nature of American politics today? I'm sorry. You must be new.
I must be. I mean.
You must be from some other country.
I am. How is this president doing?
I think that kind of question is better answered 10 years from now. Who the heck knows? I don't know who comes into Libya. What happens with the people who've been cut out of Head Start programs? I don't know. I think that those. How do you judge someone, and any president, not just Barack Obama, any president in the middle of their presidency? I mean, believe me, I say this as someone who works with organizations that do 100 days, 200 days. Like, really? The man has had 100 days. I don't care what president you're talking about. In 100 days.
But he's had everything thrown at him but the kitchen sink.
And they all do. This is why. Look at any president who starts to then 8 years later, they have aged 50 to 5 years. It is and if he's surprised that everything's thrown at him, then I'm disappointed that he's surprised. Please, you're going to be the first black president and people are going to throw everything at you?
Will there be a second black president?
Of course there will be, and there will be a woman president. You know why? Because my daughter, when she was, oh God, never will I be president. You know why? Because my daughter, when she was 6, I was actually at the inauguration, and she said to me, so now, he's the first black president? I said, yeah. The first? I was like, yes, he is the first black. And then she said about 3 times. Then she said, well, how many girls have there been? I'm like, no girls. She was just so pissed off about it. And
she understands equal opportunity.
But you know what? Actually, for a 6-year-old kid, that's the world she's born into, right? Which is like, why not? She literally sounded like there were 8 others that I was not filling her in on, and 10 other girls I just wasn't telling her. And I love that because to me it was really an indication of a mindset of like, yeah, of course there'll be more.
She can do anything.
And anybody can. That there's no big gasp of, oh my God. It's not like all firsts. The second and then the third and then they stop counting.
You've been through Hurricane Katrina, the aftermath, as well as Japan. What are some of the comparisons?
I always hate comparing tragedies because I always feel like, and some people do, well, our tragedy was worse than your tragedy. And it's very, I guess I always see my job as finding the humanity in people, right? Going and telling their stories so that everywhere, anyone who's watching, whether they've ever been to Japan, whether they know someone from Japan, whether they've ever been to New Orleans, whether they love New Orleans or they're from New Orleans or they don't know anybody from, will say, oh my God, that story just reached out and grabbed me. Why? Because we tell the story of someone's humanity. We're all the same, really. I mean, really. That's another human being going through a crisis. And if you can do that, then I think as a journalist you've succeeded. But it's never about, well, these are the people here and they're different from us, and these are the people here and they're different from us. We're really the same. And culturally there's, this a little bit different and this a little bit different, but ultimately as human beings we're kind of all the same.
Thank you.
We'd like to thank you for coming, returning, for visiting, checking in. We'd have to ask you one word about Diane Bell McCoy before you go. Associated Black Charities, you said that your work as a journalist.
Well, as I said when I got a moment to speak, it's so funny that her work is my work. We're just kind of on 2 other ends of it. She is the doer, and I'm the person who gets to run around and tell the stories of people like her, and the impact that she literally has in moving the needle in society. Those are the doers. I just get to run around with a camera and take pictures of real changes that are being made because of people like her. So, she's a powerhouse, and you can tell, she walks into a room and is like, here we go, change is coming.
Thank you for taking time for us.
You bet, my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Keep watching BeMoreNews.com, the news before the news, where we uncover the truth.